What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Awakened Narrative, coming back at you with a video that will, I hope, enhance your spiritual walk, your truth walk, but also, in particular, help those individuals that are kind of on the fence but are seeing this event as an eye opener. Maybe you're trying to get into a position of where you can discern truth versus lies, and I'm hoping this video will help in that as well. So, thanks for joining. Like, subscribe, share, bell, all that shit. And here we go. What's the difference between me and you? My strategies to combat the father of lies, Awakened Narrative. Over the past few weeks, we have all been thrown into this current event, no one excluded, leading to what I believe is the very best opportunity to express what the difference is between me and you. This one in particular goes out to all the people wanting to wake up from this absolute nightmare and stand for truth. I am confident that this exercise of discussing the differences between me and you will absolutely make a significant change to your vibrational state. Please note that this is not a right or wrong observation. My goal would be to increase your spirit vibrations. Of course, there are so many more individuals well qualified, much more qualified than I am, in teaching how one can enhance their vibrational being. I am simply here to share with you some basic things that I have done and knowledge that I've attained that have worked wonders in my spiritual growth. So what's the difference between me and you? Number one, I no longer watch television programming, especially the news. That includes newspapers. Number two, I don't listen to radio news. Sometimes they pitch information in between songs if I'm listening to that, and I just disregard it. I call it what it is. In essence, I don't care about mainstream news. Number three, I make it a general practice to test and prove all things, especially those things that are significant to my being. In general, I do that. Number four, in fact, back to number three, in fact, if you are a believer in the Bible, that's what the Bible tells you. That's what we're commissioned to do, is to test and prove all things. Number four, I know the difference between pseudoscience and empirical, natural science. Natural versus unnatural. I know that difference. I studied it to the T. I know the difference between the two. I know that pseudoscience is manufactured. Natural science is God-made. It's natural. I'd rather go with natural. I've learned the difference between a conspiracy theorist and a critical thinker. Number six, I am not a conspiracy theorist. Number six, sorry, I keep bringing up the keyboard. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I am passionately a critical thinker. Absolutely. Number seven, I have learned the difference between believing and knowing. You can see number three and number four for that. Number eight, I consistently ask myself, is this a belief or is it fact? And I have an internal checklist process. Number nine, I've learned the difference between evolution and creation. Period. I know the difference. To further that, number 10, I have not found any empirical scientific evidence of evolution, not one. Number 11, this is so important. This is it right here. This is the prerequisite to seeing all the deception, is that knowing that I know that we are not on a whirling, twirling, tilted, spinning water ball, and every image of that lie makes me sick. Every image of it makes me sick. That's how much it's like looking at the devil himself. Number 12, I'm sorry. I know that gravity is a theory. It's used to support a theoretical thought experiment. And you'll learn about that more once you understand the thought experiment that is there to propagate. Number 13, I know that man has never flown to the moon. Never. Never. I never will. I know that number 14, I know that satellites are not what's pictured in your Google search. Number 15, I know that NASA is the #1 consumer of helium products. Why am I putting that in there? I don't know. I just know. You can figure out the rest on that part. Number 16, I know that there is not one time-lapse video proof of the construction of the so-called ISS. And I tell you what, if we were building something like that, any organization, they would have video evidence of it, proof of it. Not proof for the sake of providing proof, but just to capture such a magnificent build, something that, I mean, damn, you're putting millions and billions of dollars into creating this. Of course you want to capture it. There's none of that. Number 17, I know that there is not one legitimate image of the ISS nor satellites in space. They're all CGI. Absolutely all. You will not find one legitimate image, which is why they can't point satellite images to the moon. Everything's downward. Might have something to do with that. Number 18, I know that a vacuum of space cannot exist without a container. And that's my proof of a firmament. Number 19, I know that no one has ever captured an actual 35mm non-fisheye lens photograph of Earth's supposed curvature. I know that no one has ever captured an actual 35mm non-fisheye lens photograph of Earth's supposed curvature. All images presented are CGI. They're computer generated. That's number 19. Number 20. I know that we are being lied to on a grand scale. Okay, let me stop right there. This is not in order. It's absolutely not in order of importance, but it's just uncanny that number 20, and I would say that I know that we are being lied to on a grand scale. It comes after knowing and seeing all of these previous assertions that I've made. Right? So number 20, I know that we're being lied to on a grand scale. So regarding a virus, yeah, they can lie about that too. So in the case of this virus, I can listen to highly educated medical professionals give scientific proof that a virus cannot exist, travel, spread in the way that the news is claiming it to do. And I innately hold on to love truth, something like what that medical professional told me, rather than death, which is what the news wants to tell me. Innately. Because God is love, Most High is love, truth is love is truth, and it's not fear. Number 22, I have no problem calling the news agencies liars. None whatsoever. Number 23, I know what cognitive dissonance is. Number 24, I know what a dogmatic zealot is. Number 25, I know the difference between truth and fear. And I know that they cannot coexist together. Absolutely can't. Without damaging your body. Without damaging your spiritual man, your vibrations. I know that when I stand for truth, my vibrational energies rise. I know what a fallacy is. Number 28, I know what an appeal to authority is. 29, I know what an appeal to consensus is. I got rid of those. Oh, well, the education system says, well, the news and the masses say, and therefore I must follow. No, not me. And number 30, I know I will always stand for truth. So these are things that I put into practice. And shit works. It really works. And I know during these times, these are going to be some trying times. These are going to be some trying times. And there's going to be a lot of unclarity as to what's going on. And of course, you have to be aware of the laws and the things that are happening. I understand that. But there's enough ways to get vital information without having to absorb their narrative. And you can find those ways if you seek them out. Start with turning off the television. Start with discerning whether what they're telling you is of death consumption or of love consumption. And choose those things that are of love consumption. It makes it so easy. It's your boy. Love y'all for real. Thank you so much for joining in. Add comments, man. Let's talk about this shit. Peace.